Hi everyone. Today we're going to be working on a butterfly life cycle in case you missed our group about that, and just giving you some basic facts about how butterflies change and develop over time. And we're going to make a little craft that shows us visually how that works. So the first thing I want to do is just give you a little information about the butterfly life cycle. Butterflies and moths develop through a process called metamorphosis. So that means they change in shape. So we know there's caterpillars and butterflies, so they change in shape throughout their life cycle. Insects have two common types of metamorphosis. There's grasshoppers, crickets, and dragonflies, and cockroaches have an incomplete metamorphosis, which means the young ones, which they usually call nymphs, look like small adults, but they don't have wings. And then butterflies, moths, and beetles, flies and bees have a complete metamorphosis, and the young, which are usually called larvae, are very different looking from the adults, but they also usually eat different types of food. So the first thing we're going to do is get ready to make our life cycle. So you should have a packet that you got this week that has a blue plate and a baggie that has tissue paper, a couple pieces of tissue paper, some pieces of pipe stem cleaner, a little stick, a little leaf, and some little pom-poms like that. So you'll need that, and you'll need glue, and there should also be a little white piece of paper in a circle that has the names of the life cycle on it. So we're going to start with the plate and the white circle. So the first thing we do is we're going to glue this piece on here, and it's divided into 4. So each section is a different part of the life cycle. So I'm going to glue this on and then show you what it looks like. So I'm just putting glue on the back and then just putting it in the middle of your blue plate. So the first thing we're going to learn about is the first stage of the life cycle, which is an egg. And we're going to put that in the section that says egg, so it says it right on your life cycle, so you'll know where to put it. So an egg, butterflies lay eggs on plants by adult female butterflies. The plants will then become the food that the hatchling caterpillars will be eating. Eggs can be laid from spring to summer or fall, and this depends pretty much on the type of butterfly it is. And the females lay a lot of eggs at once, so some of them will survive. Butterfly eggs can be really, really small, so they'll just look like a little pinhead on the leaf. So they're pretty tiny. So to make a representation of that, so we know what that kind of looks like, we're going to take our little leaf and we're going to glue it in where it says egg, like that. And then we're going to take, we have 3 of these little balls to represent butterfly eggs. So we're going to glue them onto the leaf. So that can be anywhere on the leaf you want to put those, so it's kind of up to you. But it's just to show you that that's where the butterfly lays their eggs. So I'm going to glue that on. I might try my tacky glue. So you just put the glue on your leaf. It's pretty simple. And then a little bit of glue on each of the puffy balls, and you're going to glue that onto the leaf. So there's one. Then I'm just going to put a little more glue on the bottom of one of these. It only takes a little dot if you have the tacky glue. I'm going to put mine right next to each other. And then I have a third one. Just another little dot of glue. It doesn't have to be very much. So I have those right on there. So that represents the egg stage of development. Oh, did you see that? It fell right off. Usually you don't have to hold them up this soon. Okay, so the second stage we're going to look at next, once you've completed making your egg stage, we can move to the caterpillar stage or the feeding stage. So the next step is, it's either the caterpillar or they call it the larva, and it's if the insect is a butterfly or a moth, that's what's going to come out of the egg. The job of the caterpillar is just to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. So this helps it grow, and like a snake, it'll shed its skin as it gets bigger because it's too small to hold the caterpillar in. And they eat that food and they store it up for energy they're going to use when they're adults. Caterpillars can grow 100 times their size during this stage. So like a monarch butterfly egg is the size of a pinhead, like I told you. So, you know, like a little bit bigger than the tip of this paper clip. It's very small. So 100 times bigger than that. So it can get up to about 2 inches. And that takes several weeks, but they're just eating leaves, eating the sticks they grow on. They eat their whole egg as they come out of it, so they eat all of that food, and then they emerge as a caterpillar. So we're going to make a caterpillar and put it in the second little quadrant, and it says caterpillar. So what we have to make the caterpillar are 2 green sticks of pipe stem cleaners. So what we're going to do is twist them together, so you can kind of crisscross them, and then just wrap one around the other one. It's pretty simple. Alright, so once you do that, you can wrap it around any pen or pencil, marker, whatever you have. We're just going to wrap the whole thing around that to kind of get that caterpillar shape. And then just slide it off, and that's my caterpillar. I know some of the people were having a hard time twisting the 2 pieces together. So if you can't do that, you could just use one of them and wrap it around the pencil or pen, whatever you're using, and slide it off, and that will be fine as well, because it's just a representation, so you know it's a caterpillar. So I'm going to glue this onto my plate. So I just need to put a little bit of glue on it. Takes a minute. Use the other glue. Sorry. Alright, so I'm going to put some of my glue on this, just on where it's going to touch the plate, on the bottom. And you're just going to put it right here in that section next to the egg that says caterpillar. So if you're doing it on your own, the caterpillar section starts with the C, and then you have a caterpillar. So there we go. Alright, so we have that on there. Mine keeps falling off because I didn't use the tacky glue. Alright. The next section we're going to do is the next stage in the butterfly's life. So after it's been a caterpillar and it's grown as large as it's going to grow, a caterpillar enters its transition stage. So what it does is it becomes a pupa. So when it's full grown and it stops eating, that becomes the pupa, and the pupa of butterflies is usually called a chrysalis. So it's just a fancy word. Depending on the type of butterfly, the pupa may be suspended under a branch, hidden in leaves, or buried underground. They may take, pupa of moths is protected inside a cocoon of silk. So it just depends on what kind of bug it is exactly, but they're all very similar. So they're going to be in there for a few weeks, a month, or even longer, depending on what type of bug it is. So there is one kind that will last for 2 years. So you could be stuck in there a long time if you're a little caterpillar. So we're going to need our green piece of paper. So basically we're going to try to make this look like a little piece of wrapped candy. That's the best way for me to describe it. So you're just going to pinch the end like that and just give it a little twist. Okay, so it looks like that. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other end. I'm just going to pinch it and give it a little twist. So for me, this looks a little bit like a piece of wrapped candy. And that's going to be your chrysalis. So that would be representing the little pouch the caterpillar makes to suspend itself in. So that's going to get glued on right here where it says chrysalis. And we have a little stick in your packet, so you can glue that on and then kind of just glue this right next to it so it looks like it's hanging off. So that's going to be your chrysalis stage. So you just need a little bit of glue on here for your stick. So So I just put some white glue there. I'm going to put my stick on, just like that. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at one end of this, where it's going to be by the branch there. And it's just going to stick on like it's hanging. So I can just put it like right here by the end and say that's where my caterpillar made his chrysalis. So there I have a representation of what that might look like. So the last step is when the butterfly actually emerges from the chrysalis. So now it will be, doesn't look like a caterpillar, doesn't look like an egg, it'll be a butterfly when it comes out. And this is what they think about. Most people think about this when they think about butterflies. They don't sit around thinking about eggs or caterpillars or chrysalis. They just think of the beautiful butterflies. So now they're going to look very different from when they were larvae. The adult butterflies have long legs, long antennae, and compound eyes, and they fly using their large colorful wings. The one thing they can't do is grow. So once a caterpillar emerges from that, or emerges and it's a butterfly, it won't get any bigger. That's just how big it is. It's an adult. So the caterpillar's job was to eat, and the adult's job is to mate and lay eggs. So some species of adult butterflies get all their energy by just what they ate when they were a caterpillar, so they don't really eat. And some also feed on nectar, like from flowers, so they'll fly around and feed that way. So flying is handy because the adult females can fly from place to place to look for a good spot to lay their eggs, because caterpillars can't travel very far because they're so small and they just crawl. So pretty much where they lay the eggs is where they're going to live until they're a butterfly. So they have to find a safe, sheltered place to put those eggs. Most adult butterflies only live a week or two, but there are a few species that actually can hibernate in the winter and may live for several months. But their life cycle is pretty short. So imagine they're flying around looking for a good place for their eggs for a month, and then they pass away, and then the eggs are there, and we start all over, and we get another caterpillar and another chrysalis and then another adult butterfly pretty soon. So it just keeps going. So to make our butterfly, you're going to need whatever other color of tissue you have, maybe blue or pink or orange or yellow, but it's kind of a square shape. So to do this, we're just going to cinch it in the middle, kind of like we gathered the chrysalis ones, but we're going to do it right in the middle so you can see how that's kind of a butterfly shape already. And then we're going to take our shorter piece of pipe stem cleaners, and we're going to wrap it, just fold it right across the middle there, fold it in half, and then just twist this so it doesn't come off. And those are going to be your antenna for your butterfly, and you can fluff out the wings a little if you want to. And there's my little guy, and I'm going to glue it right onto this paper in the last available spot right there. So again, with some glue. Again, you don't need too much glue, especially if it's the tacky glue. And I'm just going to glue it on right here in my empty space. So there we have that completed life cycle. So you can see the eggs, and then the caterpillar, and then they become the chrysalis, and then finally the butterfly. So there's a lot of great videos on the internet, so you can look at the eggs when they're actually alive and see the little butterfly or the little pupa in there that's becoming a caterpillar. So that's pretty cool, and you can check that out on the internet anytime you want to. If this video helped you out to do your project and you liked it, please subscribe to our channel, because we'll be bringing you more videos as we develop each week's content. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.